Heel. I teach all dogs that do a board and train with me. I teach them all to do the weave pulls. I do. I think that it's a good thing because you're giving the dog direction. You know, anything that you teach the dog to do and they're being compliant, that's great. Now, originally when I first did this, I learned dog training from my father. My father didn't do the weave pulls. He trained hunting dogs. So what I did was I went online and I looked to see how everybody was teaching dogs how to do weave pulls, and it didn't make sense when I watched the videos because all the videos are of positive reinforcement trainers and how they do it, and how they do it is screwed up. And every one of them had a caveat that this is going to take 3 weeks or a month to do it, to teach the dog how to do it. So I started doing it. I did it a couple times, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So I developed this method years ago, and this is the fastest method to teach your dog weave pulls. For weave pulls, all you need is tomato steaks. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need any fancy agility equipment. You can even use the poles outside a grocery store that keep the carts in. Maybe not in smaller towns, they don't have those poles, but you can use anything to teach the dog to do weave pulls. You could even do lawn chairs, set up lawn chairs and have them weave through that. This is the easiest, fastest method to teach weave pulls. Within 2 or 3 sessions, your dog will sort of have it figured out. I'm not saying that you still won't use a leash. You'll still use a leash, threading the dog through the weave pulls. This is the truth that I just had an English Cocker Spaniel go home named Charlie, and Charlie was here at 9 weeks. I started just kind of walking him through the weave pulls at 9 weeks. By the 13th week, he could do it. He could do it. He's great at the weave pulls. Camo, same thing. When he got here, I put him through the weave pulls. Now he's doing the weave pulls. Let me show you how to do it. This is very, very simple. Heel. So at first, the dog might be sort of resistant to do this, but you have the dog on a leash. Remember, the leash is also called a lead. Lead the dog through the pulls like this. Camo, here, heel, weave. And give the dog direction through the weave pulls. When you first do it, it might be sort of difficult for the dog, but just kind of keep doing it. Like on the first session, maybe weave them through it like 5 times. And then take a break, and then go back the next day and do it again, and you'll notice that there's less resistance. So you do that you'll see, like the second time you go out, it'll be easier for the dog. Remember, dog training is a lot of muscle memory. It's totally a lot of muscle memory. So you go back and do it again on the second day. It'll be more like this. Weave, here, weave, here, weave, here, weave, here, weave, here. Notice I'm saying weave when the dog's going away from me and here when it's coming towards me. Give the dog help. Help the dog learn. Use these words so that the dog starts associating that action. It's very simple. Watch it one more time. Heel. Come on, baby. Camo. Come on, Cammy. Camo. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Good boy. Now, at a point, you're going to go off leash. Now, no, if the dog keeps screwing up, put the leash back on. It's a lot of muscle memory. So many people screw up training their dog. They think that they can train a dog without a leash. Absolutely not. If you're having trouble with your dog inside, put a leash on it. That's just how it is. I get these calls, these crazy calls from people saying, I want to teach my dog off-leash training. Well, to teach your dog off-leash training, you have to use a leash. Now, Camo is on an e-collar too. So we have other options with Camo. So let's try and get Camo to do it off-leash. They don't have to do it fast at first. They just have to do it. You can speed them up when they get to the end, the last pull, and they go through it. Good boy. Make sure that the dog knows it's doing the proper action, that's what you want. Here, heel. Okay, so he's off leash. Come on, heel. Heel. Kimmel, wave. Here, wave. Here. Good boy, wave. Here. Wave. Good boy, wave. Here. Wave. Good boy. That was good. One more time, Camo. Come on. Come on, buddy. Okay, Camo, wave. Here. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. Good boy. Good boy, Cammy. Come on. One more time. Here. Camo. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. Wave. Here. That is a good boy, Camo. You can speed the dog up. You just have to do it more. Just make sure that the dog does it right. That's it. If the dog's doing it, walking it, my dog, Ike, the old lab, he just walks it. I don't care. He's doing it. We're not in agility competitions. That's not what I do. I don't compete with dogs. I just want the dogs to learn this so that they function better. They're following my direction. That's it. But if you want the dog to go fast, they will. Just keep doing it and encourage the dog. When the dog's doing it real rock solid and you're going through the weave pulls, say good. But if you start praising the dog while it's going through the weave pulls, a lot of times they screw up. It's at that point where you're praising them, it causes too much excitement. So get the dog used to it, and then when the dog gets to the end, that's when you can really give the praise. But you can't speed the dog up by saying good. Just monitor it. If it's off of a leash and you're saying good, it might screw up. You might have to say good, weaving it through. You know, at times say good when it's doing good, but have the leash on it. Your leash is your #1 dog training tool. It is. This is how dogs are trained. They're trained with leashes. You can't even use an e-collar until the dog understands the command. People get confused about these e-collars. This dog is on a setting that's lower than a human can feel it. It's just enough to give it some negativity. It's an annoyance so that it understands it's screwing up. And many times I use the vibration mode. I don't even use stimulation some of the time. But the stimulation is so low a human can't even feel it. When I hear an idiot saying, is that a shock collar on the dog? I know it's an idiot because I'm not shocking the dog. That's not what you're doing. If you're shocking the dog, you're an asshole.